So Conseslus Kipruto definitely the favourite here, but you've got to watch out for Abraham Kabiwat, the 21-year-old. We've got Nicholas Bett in this as well, the youngster. Biresh, though, could well be the favourite. He's already in reasonable form, Biresh, run 8:10 in Marseille not that long ago. And then, of course, we always have to factor Ezekiel Kemboy, who, it has to be said, ran pretty poorly here last year and then still managed to get in the Olympic team and go. Well, he got disqualified in the final, didn't he? He did finish third ahead of Makisi Benabad, but then ended up getting disqualified, Ezekiel Kemboy. He always seems to be surrounded by some drama or other. Well, the pace they've been asked to set, as I said, quick, and should give them a chance of going close to 8 minutes, but looking for a fast last 1,000 rather than going out too hard, although they've started pretty quick here, Tim.
Well, they have, Steve, and actually it's a rather strange pace that's been requested. A first 1,000 in under 8-minute tempo, 2:39, and a second 1,000 about 4 or 5 seconds slower to get them to 2005-23, with 5:20 would be 8-minute tempo. And yes, they do usually speed up over the last couple of laps. Interesting to see Conseslus Kipruto in third place there in that pinkish vest. Looks like he's really going for it here, looks hungry for a quick time. Conditions are really, really good, and it would be important to lay down a big marker here, perhaps, with those Kenyan trials just a couple of weeks away.
So a good pace, which Kipruto's decided to chase. Biresh won't be too far away. Tall figure of El Bakali, the 21-year-old Moroccan who made such a step forward last year in Rio in particular. Now he's waiting for a couple of the other Kenyans to come with him. He sort of didn't know what to do there. He didn't know whether to try and latch on to the two big names chasing the pace or whether to settle down a more sensible pace. And he's decided, yep, I'd like to have a little 2 or 3 more in that gap between me and them. And that's what he's done. So the tall Moroccan effectively in 5th place at the moment. 2 pacemakers out in front. Water jump here in Rome's on the inside, so each lap a tad less than 400 meters. So the 1,000-meter markers just shift up a little bit to where they'd normally be.
Interesting to see that Biresh has slotted into 4th place there, and just over this last lap has worked hard to get up to the shoulder almost of Conseslus Kipruto, who's still in 3rd place. Actually, Biresh just had a nightmare of a water jump. He lost about 3 or 4 meters of that water jump. I think he virtually stopped 2-footed in the water because there are 3 ahead of him, 2 of whom are pacemakers, of course, moved right away, and that gap is now back to 5 or 6 meters.
And he's been chased down by Kabiwat and Bett. Ezekiel Kemboy just sitting off all of this. So Kipruto's really, I guess, set his stall out here. He wanted them to go out hard, and he's been rewarded with that. And a pretty quick first kilometre, maybe a tad too quick, but the others just starting to come back now as that pace just starts to settle down a little bit. First pacemaker starts to move out. Kipsang looking pretty good, actually. Hopefully he can keep this going for Kipruto. Kipruto looks as though he wants to keep this pace on, doesn't he? Running alongside the pacemaker. He's probably aware that Biresh is now getting closer behind him. He did have a little bit of a gap for a while. Let's just watch this water jump. As Tim was saying, Biresh didn't do it very well last time. And again, Kipruto just gets a yard or 2 on his teammates.
Well, mid-race, Steve, that first kilometre, 2:35.6 for the pacemakers. I guess Kipruto in 2nd place there in the pink will have gone through in around 2:36.5, 2:37. We can take you back to this pole vault now, though. And the bar at 4 meters 55. That's a nice clearance. Yeah, I think several athletes have gone clear. Risish goes clear first time. She cleared 4:40 first time, then 4:55. She passed the opening height of 4:20. But 1 or 2 other athletes now clear at this height. Sidorova, McCartney, the New Zealander Steve alluded to earlier, and Sandy Morris as well. Although McCartney and Morris had a couple of pops at 4:40. And Stefanidi yet to come, and she's not going to come in until 4:65, the Olympic champion. So next to go. And there's a nice clearance from McCartney. He's coming to you off tape from just a couple of minutes ago. I can tell you, however, that Ollie Bradshaw, who's in such good form in Manchester last week, cleared her opening height 4:40, had a couple of failures at 4:55, and then was retired from the competition, the Briton. It's slightly worrying news from a very good athlete, Jarisley Silva. Has had a first-time failure at this height, 4.55, but McCartney there, who's a super athlete, massive potential in this discipline, looking good.
Well, Kipruto now deciding to try and push on a little bit. Pace just dropped slightly, and all of a sudden he injects a little bit more pace. The youngster, the world junior champion, slotted in behind him. That's Amos Karui. And then Biresh is still there, hovering, taking that water jump much better on that occasion. And the Moroccan just gives a little bit of a nudge to Barnabas Kipyego and says, I'd come through on the inside. El Bakali then trying to hang on to these three. Kipruto, as he comes around with 2 laps to go into the last 1,000 metres. They went quick for the first 1,000, slowed a bit after that, but they're still not too far away from 8-minute pace. It's going to be a pretty quick race, depends on what these last 2 laps are. And all of a sudden, look at the youngster there. He's only run 8:20. He's been well inside that here today. Kipruto doesn't want to cede the lead to him. The youngster just came by him and said, I'm here. So's Biresh, so's El Bakali. 4 men as they go down the back straight for the penultimate time.
Well, Kipruto has got great finishing speed. I talked to his agent last year. He said he can run around 48 seconds for 400, so he doesn't need to leave. He's always strong on the final lap. He was the dominant victor in Rio, of course, in fact unbeaten throughout 2016. So how's he going to play this last lap and a half? He's got several cards up his sleeve, but at the moment Steve seems happy to just drag them around. Will he wind it up?
Well, look who's the man behind him. It's not his teammate, it's El Bakali, this Moroccan, 21 years. And that tall figure, look how easily he copes with the barriers. Does he have any pace in his legs? His 1,500-metre best is 3:45. It's not bad, but that's probably just from strength. So they take the bell. Karui in third, and Biresh starting to look a little bit ragged at the moment. Comes out wide to take that one. Not taking the barriers as well. Losing ground. So it's Kipruto there to be shot at. Kipruto, the Olympic champion with the world junior champion, now attacking Karui once more. Kipruto responds. El Bakali looks as though he'd had to climb over that barrier there, but there's a little bit of a gap between these three and Biresh. And once more Karui has another go, and Kipruto again holds him off. And that's got to be soul-destroying for the youngster. El Bakali just sneaking through, gives him a nudge. Look at this, that's the Moroccan now. Kipruto, last time into the water jump. El Bakali's not going to hang around here, trying to attack on the outside. Kipruto holds the inside, does it well. The two of them come off the water jump, still at top speed. It's a battle for third, way behind these two. One more barrier to go. Kipruto on some real pressure here. Bakali's going to be running, El Bakali's going to be running a massive personal best, but can he win it? Kipruto comes away again. The Olympic champion just has enough. A little wag of the finger. 8 minutes 4. Fastest in the world this year. Biresh just pipped his young teammate for third spot. Well, that's a massive jump forward for the Moroccan, though. Really did challenge Kipruto. He at first on that last lap thought it was going to be his teammate, and once he'd seen the World Junior Champions challenge